Welcome back to today's Bible study on June the 10th, 2008. And today we are going to be in John chapter 12, verses 1 through 26. We're going to be looking at John chapter 12, verses 1 through 26. And the points that we want to consider today when we're doing our Bible study, we're reading through, begins with the story of Jesus being anointed by Mary at Bethany. And then of course, she is attacked for her love of Jesus Christ, for her worshiping of Him, because she uses a very expensive ointment to place on His body and to put on His head and His feet. And the disciples, led by Judas Iscariot, say, "What of this waste? You're just wasting this." And Jesus makes a very important point in that. He says, because Judas tries to make up the story, he says, "Well, we could have given this money to the poor." And Jesus said, "But the poor you'll always have with you." But they wouldn't always have Jesus with them. Jesus was about to go to the cross and then would be taken up to the heaven to be at the right hand of the Father. And I think there's an important point to be made by Jesus in that, is that yes, philanthropy is good, and loving our neighbors and going out of our way for our neighbors is fantastic. We must be people who are good Samaritans, and we must be people who reach out and love others, especially those who are in need. That is without doubt. But nothing that we do can take away from our worship of God. Let me tell you what I mean by that. We have a mandate to be worshipers of God first, to be worshipers of His holiness, of His righteousness, of His love, of His justice. All of these things we worship God, and we put that first on our agenda. And that was what Mary did. She put the worship of Jesus before anything, especially before her own financial gain, like is mentioned in the text, 300 denarii. A denarii was a day's wage. You're looking then at a year's worth of ointment that she used on Jesus. A year's, 300 days, almost a year. That's an amazing amount that she gave to Jesus just to have an act of worship. How many of us have ever given to Jesus that level of worship? Giving that much of ourselves at one time. So Jesus said, don't say anything against her. Imitate her. If anything, don't speak out against this woman, because she is doing a wonderful work. He said, "Leave her alone, that she may keep it for the day of my burial." And you see, none of them knew what Jesus was talking about then, because many of them who believed that He was Messiah thought He was a conqueror, didn't realize that He came to conquer sin and death, not the Roman oppressors. So it moves on. After that, you see the plot to kill Lazarus. You'll read through that and see that. You'll see the story of the triumphal entry, very famous story, prophesied in the Old Testament. And it says there, it speaks of the prophecy there in verse 15, "Behold, your king is coming, sitting on the colt of a donkey." And that's one of those things that we have to remember, that's one of the reasons why we know the Bible is absolutely true, is because we have specific prophecies from many years before the event actually happens that tells us what is going to happen, and then those prophecies are fulfilled. And Jesus fulfills the prophecy of coming into Jerusalem riding on the donkey's colt. Finally, at the end of our reading of today, we see the story of Jesus being sought out by Greeks. Now, this is going to play a very important role in what we study tomorrow, because Jesus is going to make a statement about being raised up, and when He is raised up, drawing all men unto Himself. And we're going to see that when He talks about all there, He's actually talking about all types of men, because the gospel goes out not to one specific race, not to one specific gender, not to one specific ethnic group, but that the gospel goes out to all types of men, both Jew and Gentile. And that's what made the gospel, that's what took the truth of the gospel and spread it to the world, is the knowledge that Jesus gives us, that his goal was to have converts from every tribe, tongue, and nation. I hope you do well in your study today, and if you have any questions, please email me at mkfoskey, Foskey, @yahoo.com. And again, you can look at some of the other interesting videos on our site. I've been doing a little bit on false teachers lately. You'll see some of those. And I just hope you have a blessed day, and I hope that these studies are beneficial to you. And if they are, send us a message. Let us know, or let me know rather, that you are enjoying them. God bless. Have a great day.